A landmark ruling on transgender surgeries for minors that could put some Democrats in the hot seat. A 22-year-old biological woman who identified as a boy in her teen years was awarded nearly $2 million after suing the doctors who pushed her into irreversible gender surgery, which was a double mastectomy, when she was just 16 years old. And get this, there are 28 similar lawsuits moving through the courts. Greg, what I think is interesting about this is so many things. You're the first person I thought of, but this wasn't just elites or people on TV saying that this was wrong. This was a jury who awarded the money.
This has just got to be the beginning. And we talked about this for years. At a minimum, these doctors should lose their licenses. There was no science to back up these decisions. Hardly. I mean, this is truly Hitlerian, experimenting on children. You know, if I had my way, they'd be put on trial and they would be imprisoned. And if I had the time, I would expose every single nurse, reporter, teacher, caregiver who allowed this disfigurement to spread just so they could operate under this delusion that they cared about children. And the mainstream media is not going to deal with this because they're part of it. They're complicit. Children were being butchered and they saluted it. And now they're kind of like going, well, this never happened. This is what they do with a lot of stories. And they threw girls under the bus. They threw boys under the bus. I think it's like the most evil thing I've ever seen in my lifetime. And I've seen a lot and participated in. But people have questioned my focus on this for a long time. The left, Media Matters, Human Rights Campaign had called me transphobic. Every time after I talked about this, as if there's a limit to disgust over the mutilation of children. And I think that if you were called transphobic over this, that was a compliment, because that meant that you were right all along. One reporter asked me, "Why do you care?" I'll never forget that. And I said to him, "Why don't you?" So.
The other thing, Jesse, that I was thinking about is that this wasn't a jury in Texas or Georgia. It was here in New York.
Yeah. Greg deserves credit, a little credit, but he definitely deserves credit because he was very out front on this. And I'm not.
You were sick of me talking about it.
Well, it's because you were so graphic about it. Have some dignity. The American Society of Plastic Surgeons just came out with a huge statement. They now say they recommend that surgeons delay gender-related breast, chest, genital surgeries until the patient is at least 19 years old. I mean, this is groundbreaking. People in Europe, the Norwegians, the Finns, the British, they've all come out and said, we're not going to touch a kid like that until they're at least 18. And these people are now saying there's growing evidence that it's going to backfire, and that there is no evidence that someone's going to commit suicide if you don't do this. This suggests a proportion of children with this gender dysphoria, they resolve the issue by the time they grow into adults. Almost all of them resolve the issue if there's no medical intervention and you just do nothing. And so do no harm, that's the cornerstone of the medical community. That's where it should remain.
Is that the kind of scientific decision-making or consensus that Democrats could get behind, what he's talking about here?
I think to a large degree, yes. I think that if there is still access to hormone therapy for kids who have not turned 18 yet, that makes sense. And there are very few cases of this. That is important to highlight. And also that there are very few cases, it's 28 cases that are going to wind up through the courts, of people that are suing their doctors for doing these surgeries that they say that they didn't want. And it sounds like these doctors really violated the protocols. And so they should be punished for that. Obviously, there's the fine. I don't know if they're going to look at their licenses. But I do think as well, it's important to highlight the fact that the American Journal of Surgery, for instance, has looked at levels of regret for certain surgery types, and that gender-affirming surgery is less than 1% feel that way. Much higher ratios for people who have elective plastic surgery, for instance, or even big life decisions like having kids or getting a tattoo.
Oh, that's idiotic.
It's not idiotic.
No, come on.
It is, because this
Jessica,
turns into...
the majority of... I'm sorry, don't question me on this one, and I have to correct you. The overwhelming majority of detransitioners do not tell their doctors. They don't tell they just do it. The only ones you know about are the ones in the news. But the overwhelming majority detransition, and they don't talk to their doctors because it's so bad.
And by the way, if you look at the lawsuit, the lawyers say they point the finger at the psychologist that convinced the kid and told the parents, if you don't do this, your daughter's going to commit suicide.
Yeah, and which was a complete bogus. It was a complete bogus scare tactic. Oh, wouldn't you rather have a live daughter than a dead son? That was the line they used over and over. And you'd hear it on CNN. These bastards have to pay for what they've done. Right now, you have a California attorney general who is suing hospitals over ending sex change treatments among kids. The hormone thing is another story because there is permanent damage to hormones as well. And we have to look at that.
This is just the beginning because they're going to have malpractice insurance. It's not going to insure these doctors. There's going to be huge pushback. I hope all these other 28 cases are positive for the victims.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.